Hey, it's louisity again, and for this video I'm going to be doing another list of YA contemporary books that I like. Hoorah! So I did this one in 2020, I created a list and I just want to give some updates because since that time I've read, a lot of YA contemporary books, and with the help of BLouRay book club I've read a lot more. So yes, I just wanted to give an update and share with you some new YA contemporary books that I like since that last video. So first I'm going to talk about my 4 out of 5 star reads, and we will begin with Perfect by Ellen Hopkins. How this follows the story of 4 characters who are dealing with things in their lives, in their different circumstances. One is dealing with her sexuality, one is dealing with, that other character's breakup, because they used to be together and he was still kind of moving on, and one is dealing with, some other sort of personal issues, and then the other character is dealing with being, in a relationship with someone of a different race. Although the story didn't really have a much more intense thing, it had sort of a mood that's more flatter. I love the fact that it did tackle about how in these circumstances how people are expected to be perfect or ideal. So that's what made this book strong. The next 4 out of 5 star read that I read, and this is a book that I read in March 2022, courtesy of BLouRay Book Club, and it would be You've Reached Sam by Dustin Thau. Now this follows the story of Julie and Sam, who were in a relationship, and unfortunately Sam passed away. But one time Julie received a call and it was from Sam. So how did it happen? Well, gotta read the story to find out. Now at first the story didn't really have much of an intensity in terms of it didn't really move me, or the narrative didn't really captivate me, and there were times wherein I was confused about the timeline, where are we in the story? But towards the end it was really emotional. I think this is one of the books that kind of made me tear up. So yeah, that's why I gave it 4 out of 5. Let's proceed to my 4.25 out of 5 star reads, and I'm going to begin with Will Grayson by John Green and David Levithan. I read this in 2020 and I was I just decided to read another work by John Green, and this follows the story of 2 Will Graysons. One is dealing with how his friendship with his friend is going to go, and how they would treat each other, and he has this sort of working on a play of his friend, and his friend's doing all this stuff. And of course the other Will Grayson is a queer guy who is of course was depressed, or is depressed, and yeah, tries to find his true love. That I think there was that time where he met his love online. So it's very cute, it's very fun, not really something that has extravagant or kind of how it tackled something that in an extravagant way, if you know what I mean. It's just something that's just good, it's a good read. Good read. You Should See Me in the Crown, which I read for a BLouRay book club back in February 2021. Now have always said, I like how this book talks about being oneself. Now this follows the story of our main character. She's running for a prom queen in order to seek financial aid, and then she has this fellow competitor, and they sort of falling in love and developing these feelings, and competition is quite tight, as well as how the school sort of intervenes or meddles about what's happening between them. So I just love how it tackled about being oneself strongly. The first parts of the book weren't really as striking as they are, but I just love the overall message. I definitely recommend this book. because I wanted to read The Princess and the Fangirl for BLouRay book club in June 2021, I decided to read Geekerella by Ashley Poston. Now this is loosely a Cinderella retelling. We follow Elle, who is managing a fan con of her favorite sci-fi series, and Darian, who will be playing the lead role in that sci-fi series. Now Elle is really passionate about the series. She had like questions about like Darian playing the role. She's thinking like she's just, you know, some other guy who's just after her for like the fame and doesn't really respect the series. Little does she know that Darian is actually into the series and actually admires and is kind of a geek on his own way. And Darian's also dealing with his manager, like his relationship with his manager, also his father. So it's very interesting how those dynamics work. Like, you know, how one's passion is involved, and like spaces, you know what I'm talking about. So I really enjoyed this book. I likey. So those are the books that I like, specifically YA contemporary books that I like, 2022 edition. If you've made it this far, leave an avocado emoji and watch out for the next part with the YA contemporary books that I love 2022 edition. So if you folks like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Also click that subscribe button and hit that little bell icon somewhere down there to keep yourselves posted about my videos. I also put down links and handles on my social media accounts, so feel free to check me out and follow me there as well. And please follow me on Kumu if I'm gonna be doing live streams like reading sprints or maybe other kinds of live streams. Feel free to drop in, and also if you can support me by dropping virtual gifts for my happiness. As always, thank you super much for watching. Always be thankful and unleash the reader in you. Bye y'all. Mwah.